India has clearly stated that there is no place for an ambiguous approach while dealing with a global threat. It is an attack on humanity, freedom and civilization. New Delhi has also zero tolerance for narco-terror and it is taking several steps to fight drug menace. Highlighting the country's fight against narco-terrorism and drug trafficking, India has urged Interpol to create a real-time information system on the nexus of narcotics and terrorism. A report.
India has been taking a stern stand on the issues of terrorism in the international sphere, which is also reflected in country's G20 agenda. It has assumed the G20 presidency for the first time and it will leave no stones unturned to counter terrorism. It wasn't long ago when India organized the third ministerial conference on countering financing of terrorism. The theme of the conference was No Money for Terror, which emphasized India's zero-tolerance policy for terrorism. India has clearly stated that there is no place for an ambiguous approach while dealing with a global threat. It is an attack on humanity, freedom and civilization. New Delhi has also zero tolerance for narco-terror and it is taking several steps to fight drug menace. Highlighting the country's fight against narco-terrorism and drug trafficking, India has urged Interpol to create a real-time information system on the nexus of narcotics and terrorism.
ड्रग गल्फ कंट्रीज से आ रहा था। इसके मालिक कौन है, उनको सारे के सारे पकड़ लिए गए हैं, फैक्ट्रियां सील कर दी गई हैं और उसके आधार पर देश के 12 राज्यों में रेड कर वहां भी कारोबार करने वालों को पकड़ लिया। संपत्तियों को जब्त करने के लिए भी हमने कार्यपद्धति डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल तक सर्कुलेट कर दी है।
India has always described terrorism as an existential threat to global peace and security. The country has stressed the need to address the double standards in countering terrorism and highlighted the specific challenges with which the counter-terrorism architecture is currently grappling. Recently presiding over the UNSC briefing, Global Counter-Terrorism Approach, Challenges and Way Forward, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said that there is a challenge to deal with double standards both inside and outside the Council. India's remarks was a strong reference to repeated holds and blocks on proposals by India to blacklist Pakistan-based terrorists in the UN Security Council's Sanctions Committee by veto-wielding permanent member China. Time and again, India has stressed that the world sees Pakistan as the epicenter of terrorism and it should clean up its act and try to be a good neighbor.
You see, there are hundreds of terrorist groups in Pakistan, some of whom are very well known and have been indulging in umpteen number of attacks against India, especially Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Jamaat-ud-Dawa. And there are so many of them. And what they do is, whenever they come under pressure, whether from the FATF or from other international organizations, with the connivance of Pakistani intelligence agencies, the military, and the deep state, so to say, or sometimes with the connivance of the government itself, they are able to mutate themselves. They rename into a new group, and then they start recruiting people, they start arranging funding, they indulge in terror activities.
India has focused on inspiring other countries to take strict actions against terror. It strongly believes that the world needs to unite against all kinds of overt and covert backing of terror.